Hello, and welcome to Ending Physician Overwhelm. I'm your host, Dr. Megan Mello. I'm a family and obesity medicine physician, as well as a certified life coach for physicians. In this podcast, we talk about how the learned habits of people-pleasing, perfectionism, and a lack of boundaries show up in our lives and how they contribute to burnout, exhaustion, and overwhelm. The healthcare system is broken, my friends, but let's not wait for it to be fixed in order to feel better. Hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode of Ending Physician Overwhelm. Today is going to be a short one. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can see that I am yet again in my car recording, and it is actually Monday morning before the Tuesday when this episode comes out. And today is going to be a quick one because that's all I've got time for. And yet it was important to me that I share this message with you. We are currently dealing with what I'm going to just call a semi-urgent sort of medical crisis in my family. And I know so well that unfortunately, so many of you also know what this experience is like. When we have a new breast cancer diagnosis, for example, which unfortunately I know far too many women physicians who have had breast cancer. When we find out or we're waiting to hear about something related to fertility or pregnancy, right? There are these situations where there is no code going on, but we are desperately awaiting what is going to happen in this medical situation and having to sort of sit with it, right? Because there's nothing that you can do other the little steps that need to happen, right? You're waiting for an appointment. You're waiting for help. You're waiting for a test result to come back. This happens, of course, all the time. And much of the time we are on the other side of it, but sometimes we are on this side of it, whether for ourselves or our loved ones. That is what is going on for me right now. And I just wanted to share with you 10 things that are helping me right now as I am dealing with this in my family. 1, noticing myself and my needs in this time. This is not my medical crisis. This is one of my kids. And I am the caregiver of this kid, my other kid, and my family as a whole. I'm not, thankfully, the only responsible adult who is in my household, and I'm not, thankfully, the only responsible adult between the two of us. We've also got wonderful support from my mom, who lives very close to us. So there is not just me, but there is me. And in order to be me and to do this, I need to take care of myself, and I need to notice what it is that I need in the moments so that I can take the actions necessary as we move through this. We are so quick to let ourselves go, and I'm not constantly thinking about myself, but I am thinking about myself and what do I need in order to be in this role. Number 2, I am continuing my routines with self-compassion. So again, this gets to my needs, but I am still trying to get to bed. I'm still trying to wake up and do my exercise, which brings me a lot of peace and clarity. And it is, as I've shared, it is a quiet time for me that helps me to feel more like myself and feel settled so that I can do what I need to do. I am still trying to eat healthy food on a regular basis, right? These routines are important to me, and I'm trying to maintain them. They may look different during this time than they would look when times are better, but just to say, the basics matter. Number 3, let people know what I need, right? I am someone who considers myself highly reliable. Am I perfect? Of course not. But I am someone that people count on. And that's true at home. That's true in my family relationships. It's true in my work. I am reliable and dependable. And right now, with stuff going on, I am less reliable and dependable to the people that I'm usually reliable and dependable to. Now, I am reliable and dependable to my kid, right, who is experiencing this in my family. And that is going to be my priority. But I will be less reliable and dependable in other settings, right? I am going to have to cancel plans with friends. I am going to have to reschedule patients, right? I'm going to have to make different choices. And I will be as upfront as possible with people that I'm going to be less reliable and dependable and let them know what it is that I need. 4, both accepting what is true and also allowing moments of good. I can accept that this is a very difficult time and that I wish that none of this was happening. It is happening. I can't deny it. I can't ignore it. And I can also take moments where there is something joyful or silly or playful and choose to let them in. I think this is a tough area for so many of us because we are so used to being the solid, dependable, serious one in our families, maybe amongst our friend groups, just in our role professionally, that it can be very difficult to let in moments of good and joy and silliness and playfulness. I really need to sit in that space, though, and take the moments when they come. And that is a new challenge for me, but it is something that I'm leaning into right now. Number 5, creative procrastination. I have been dreaming about bigger things that I want to do, projects that I want to take on, new things that I want to offer people. And yet, knowing that this was looming, having had a sense that this was true and that I couldn't ignore it, I also put some things off and shut something down and knew that I was going to need to devote a lot of attention to this. Now, it's not to say that future plans won't happen eventually, but for right now, I am absolutely 100% procrastinating on them because they are not what is important to me right now. They are important to me, but they are not what is important to me right now. And it is okay for us to say, I've still got things that I want to do, but right now, this needs to be the focus. Even if I wish so much, right, this was not going on and that I could focus on those things, right? So creative procrastination. Number 6, clarity of values, knowing very clearly what is important. Again, this is an area where I feel like a lot of us have common ground, where we say that our families are our most important thing, and yet it's so easy not to be living our lives that way, to be ultimately putting more into our work, which of course is very important and serious work that we do. We're putting more energy over there and less into our families despite what we say. If I'm leaning into my family being my top priority, then I need to figure out, how do I show up if that is true, right? How do I make decisions day in, day out, moment to moment as things come up? Today, I am hoping that we will be having an onboarding process with a new care team that will be helping us. And that means that I'm probably going to have to cancel a bunch of people, run out of clinic, go pick people up, right? And get started. I hate doing that, but the person that I am, right, who values her family is going to need to be 100% willing to inconvenience others in order to make this happen, right? And thankfully, I can take the principle that, yes, I'm an important part of other people's care team, but I am by no means the only way that people can access care. I am the only way that my family can get this need met at this time. Number 7, know who is on my team. You and I both know that there are people in our lives that are good people to bring on board and bring in and let know what is going on. And there are people who do not fit that bill. This is part of boundaries work. I have people in my life who, I've had to set some very hard limits with, and they will not be in the loop about what is going on because I do not trust them to be able to act and speak in a way that will be helpful. So they are out of the loop, right? But I do know who is on my team, and I am going to be very intentional about letting people know what I need. Number 8, preparing for growth. This has to do with my Enneagram type. I am oddly labeled a loyalist, and at this moment I am blanking on the number. Doesn't really matter. I am that one. And as I've heard my business mentor say very many times. And the good and the bad is that we can see very far into the future, and we will start preparing for all of the things that could happen. And she describes this phenomenon where we can have pre-traumatic stress disorder, right? We can see all the bad outcomes that are potential. And I can do that. And there are some helpful elements of that, but there are also some just terrible elements of it. But as I am in this space right now, what I can see is that I've got space to grow here. I would never choose to have what is going on. And I also can accept that there are things for me to learn and pick up. And if that's what this requires, then that's what I'm going to do. Not a lesson I want to learn, right? Who would? But here we are. That's what's going on. Number 9, choose love. Again, in this situation, there are going to be some tough decisions. There are going to be some tough days. I don't know yet exactly what that looks like. I only know the flavor of the things that have been going on. And I'm choosing to lean into love, whatever that looks like in the moments. That includes love for myself. It includes love for my child. It includes love for everyone else that is important to me. And that is what I'm going to lean on as I am navigating this. And I invite you to do the same. Choose love. Number 10, I trust myself. And I trust myself to know who else can be trusted based on my past experiences. And again, this sort of speaks to boundaries work, but I have navigated, as have you, every crisis that has come before you. Now, have we done it all perfectly? No. Are there things that we wish could have been different? Absolutely. But the fact that we are still here, the fact that we are speaking, the fact that we are able to reflect in this moment about what is going on means that we have handled whatever has happened to us. I'm leaning into that to trust that even though I don't know exactly what to do here, I know enough to take one step at a time and to move forward. And I know that you do too. So that is my list for you. That is 10 things that are helping me right now. You can turn to this episode if and when you are facing similar challenges and anytime that you need it. I encourage you to write it out for yourself, to think about what is important to you and how are you going to implement things that are important to you as you navigate these tough spaces. I wish as much as possible, right, that none of us would ever face this, but this is the reality. This is life. That is all I have for you today. I hope to be with you next week. If we have an interruption, if we have some time where there is no podcast, please trust that I am thinking about you, but also sticking to my values and what needs to happen for my family. Until next time, take care.
Well, that's our show for today. Thank you as always for listening. To learn more about my coaching programs, head to www.healthierforgood.com. And if you love this podcast, please drop us a review on iTunes or support the show by clicking the link in the show notes. Until next time, take care.